Certainly, our responsorial psalm this morning, those who follow the Lord will have the light of life, is markedly different from woe to you, Pharisees, woe to you, scholars, woe to you. So if I was going to choose into what camp I would fall, it would not be the woe to you, it would be the light of the Lord. So how do we get there? How do we make sure that we stand in the light of the Lord? This past Sunday, at my parish, we had the grand opening of our faith formation classes. And so it was one large meeting for all of the kids in the program and their parents. And our faith formation director, Sister Irene, put together a great program. We got everyone together in the school hall. I had opening prayer and a few opening remarks. And then she got up to talk about the year, what it would look like. She offered a theme for the year, which was walking in the footsteps of Jesus. And then she gave each family a little kind of family pack. It was a bag. And in the bag, there were some items. There was the schedule for the year. There was a footprint, walking in the footsteps of Jesus. You get it, Mornay? Okay. Walking in the footsteps of Jesus. So there was a footprint and a pen, and there was an assignment for all of the families that kind of filled the gym to be a part of that morning. And it was to sit down as a family, parents and kids, and write their name, their family name on the footprint, and also a couple of ways in which this coming year, they could walk in the footsteps of Jesus. And she looked at the crowd. The parents looked kind of worried, I think, right from the get-go as to how they were going to do this assignment right there. And she said, but don't worry, parents. I've given you a bit of a cheat sheet. And she did. One of the papers in the pack were all of the ways in which we can be like Jesus. And we saw things like love and joy and peace and patience and kindness. And she said that can help you help the students. So they opened up the family pack. Everyone went to work. At this point, I started to wander around from table to table, just saying hi to the parents, hi to the kids, and also to do a little spying to see what they were coming up with. And they had the cheat sheet in front of them. And I walked by one family, and the parents said, well, how do you think we're going to follow Jesus this year? And the little kid said, kindness. And he wrote kindness on the footprint. But then the parent, doing their job, said, well, that's good, but how are you going to be kind? Which was a challenge to the little kid. You know, how are you kind in life? Well, he thought for a few moments, and he said, well, I won't fight with my brother. Very good, wrote it down, you know. I'll be nice to the kids in school. Great idea, wrote it down. And table to table, group to group, I could see them fleshing out how is it that we are loving, joyous, peaceful, kind, welcoming, good, forgiving. My friends, that's the call to holiness that we all have. In his letter to the Galatians, Paul goes out of his way to let them know that things like hatred and jealousy and envy and selfishness aren't of the Spirit. They aren't of God because they're not life-giving. Being jealous does not make us better people. Being angry doesn't make us better people. I love this one. Outbursts of fury. I hope I'm never subject to someone's outburst of fury. But it doesn't make us a better person. The gifts of the Spirit will, because they are tied to the call to holiness that God our Father gives us through Jesus, his Son. The gospel, Jesus speaking to the Pharisee, who love seats of honor, who love the outside trappings. If you had a chance to pray the Mass yesterday, you will remember that Jesus talked about the cup being dirty on the inside but clean on the outside. He was reminding them, the Pharisees, the teachers, the scholars, that the call to holiness is a call for us to change our interior life. When we do that, when we allow our interior life to be changed by Jesus and his grace and his love for us, our interior selves will always have an effect on our exterior selves. When we allow our attitude to be like Christ's, which St. Paul will write about in another letter, when we allow our interior to be like Jesus, our attitude to be like Jesus, our behavior changes. What people see us do, what people hear us say, will change. And so as we celebrate our prayer together this day, we're reminded of that interior call to holiness. That when we practice the gifts of love and kindness and forgiveness, we will, no doubt, find ourselves following him and living in the light of light. His life of light. A light that's always there, a light that no darkness can extinguish.